YouTube is wiping pretty much the entire Yandere simulator scene off its platform. And if you've seen videos from Kubz or Bijuu about this, you might think that what's happening is recent, but no. Here's why. Since around mid-2025 or maybe even earlier, people had already been talking about how YouTube's AI moderation had basically taken over the platform and was randomly terminating videos. Thousands upon thousands of channels were getting either warnings or bans over even more ridiculous things. Something a lot of us either didn't know about or for whatever reason didn't want to talk about it. And now it reached the current state, which is basically a disaster for Yandere simulator community, and soon it's going to turn into an even bigger disaster for the gaming community or maybe even all the YouTube. In this video, we're going to break this down in 3 parts. How did this happen? What can we do to prevent this from getting worse? What's going to happen to Yansim YouTube in the future? So if you have a YouTube channel and for whatever reason you're worried that sooner or later YouTube's AI might come after it, watch this video until the end. Hi, NJ's here and welcome to junsuinyt. Today we're going to talk about the huge YouTube disaster that has put the fear of God into the Yansim community. YouTube AI moderation. Shout out to Lenny and WWEJ Gaming, who unfortunately also became victims of YouTube, but made today's video possible. For those who don't fully know what's going on, let me give a quick explanation. AI moderation has existed for years, but the wave of false terminations that scares everyone started around mid to late 2025 and became very noticeable in 2026. Basically, YouTube had been using automation or ML for moderation for years, like for copyright, spam, child safety, and something like that. But it was mostly for initial flagging, not a straight up slamming a ban stamp on your channel and throw it into your face. Boom! Your channel is banned. We don't care how many years you worked on it, how emotionally attached you were to it, or whether it was the source of income to you or how you made money from it. Boom! Gone forever. Now, if you didn't get it, how exactly it works, let me give you a better example. Now, imagine that in this video I use the phrase YouTube is a dictator. Sorry, I can't say that in my accent. It's very hard for me to say. And then the AI, which obviously has no ears, no eyes, and no brain, could literally use the exact word I used, dictator, against me. Why I can't say this? And go like, oh, you're discussing politics on YouTube and I can't let you do that. And then terminates my channel. And like, imagine if they actually did that. And that's exactly the peak of the disaster. Now imagine we have a video game where a schoolgirl met other schoolgirls. I mean, like, you can see where this is going, right? It's been about 1 or 2 months since YouTube made the policies stricter under the claim of making the platform safer for users. But that safety wasn't achieved by hardworking human moderation or company employees and blah, blah, blah. It was literally AI. And for example, if YouTube rules says that any encouragement of violence against children, since all the Yandere simulator characters are minors and promoting the criminal organization is prohibited, that stupid AI can't tell what kind of videos it's literally flagging. It just does a job. It can't even recognize that this is a video game with graphics that are as unrealistic as possible. And most of the channels that got banned by AI didn't even violate even 1% of YouTube's strict policies. They simply had aspects that matches what the system considered violation. Some were people who uploaded Yandere simulator gameplay years ago. And then because years ago Yansim was trending and they were just following the trend, the channel got terminated. At this point, even upload time doesn't matter anymore. If YouTube really had the ability to deal with unethical Yandere simulator content, it had 12 years to ban that content from the platform. So why now? So starting with my own point of view. A few weeks ago, I got a message from my friend, aka WWEJ Gaming, saying that his channel got terminated by YouTube. And then I was like, what the hell? Because, I already knew that YouTube could be a little sensitive about how violent Yansim content is, but I didn't expect this. Like, why on earth would a WWE game related to Yansim get banned for no damn reason? And it's not like I'm saying that other channels that got flagged by YouTube over violence necessarily deserved it, or definitely had a valid reason behind it. No, I'm not saying that. But years ago, people had this problem and they literally censored parts of the game through the in-game settings, which it helped to prevent their channel from getting demonetized or labeled as violent content. But this channel, seriously, I don't get it. Why? It had no content that would openly trigger YouTube into saying, hey, look at me, I'm promoting violence. And I was genuinely shocked. So I decided to take action and see what's going on. Over the past few days, I tried to follow up the issue. And in the meantime, the owner of the channel himself posted about it in several places and tried to convince YouTube that it had banned the channel by mistake. And guess what? Appeal rejected. And then I found out that it wasn't just him. Tons of other content creators out there had also been unfairly banned and their appeals were rejected too. And not gonna lie, I was scared too. Because even if our channel is basically an art channel, I had made a lot of content related to Yandere Simulator, and some of them were actually violence too. And when someone's channel gets banned over something so unrelated, so random, it feels like sooner or later they could come for all of us. And I really hoped that YouTube's AI wouldn't be that stupid and it's just a simple mistake and they're going to fix it soon. But no, I came across some discussions on other people saying that back when AI was flagging videos left and right, people submitted appeals. And YouTube was required, and still is, to have a human review those channels and decide whether it's violent or not. And yes, a lot of channels succeeded, but at the same time, there were so many cases that YouTube basically stepped back and stopped proper follow-up. So please, when I say this, understand why I feel like the era when YouTube genuinely investigates AI mistake is over. They just don't care anymore. Because the number of human review requests is so massive that even they know AI is messing up so bad. And they know the AI moderation is making tons of mistakes. Like out of every 10 videos it flags, 8 are probably false. And yet, they still aren't doing anything about it. And nowadays, anyone who gets banned for no reason appeals to YouTube. It actually gets rejected with a big empty statement like, oh, we have to enforce YouTube policies for safety of people on the platform and something like that. And believe me or not, everyone got some sort of appeals like that. And I'm going to read one. I'm not going to read one. I'm going to show you one. This was the appeal response he received after a few days of follow-up. Now, before that I start reading it or showing it, I'm going to let the AI trained voice read this part because my accent might mess things up or I might accidentally mispronounce something. So please understand that English is not my first language. And even though I have been speaking English since I was a kid, I still have some accents that I can't just get rid of. And unfortunately, there are some parts that need to be read by AI so that you can understand it better. Alright, with that being said, let's go ahead and read this message.
Hi, WWEJ Gaming. We have reviewed your appeal for the following. We reviewed your channel carefully and have confirmed that it violates our violent criminal organization's policy. We know this is probably disappointing news, but it's our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all. We won't be putting your channel back up on YouTube.
What the f this sound? Do I really sound like this? Do I really speak like this? Like what on earth? Okay, anyway. And then he got another appeal rejected message.
We appreciate the time you took to explain the creative intent behind your channel and your 8-year history with the platform. Every appeal is taken seriously, especially those involving complex policy classifications. However, following a manual review of the specific material that led to this action, our team has confirmed that the channel cannot be restored. We must maintain a consistent application of our policies to ensure the safety of the community.
Dude, that's literally a WWE game. What are you talking about? And this is just one of the thousands of people who lost their channels over this nonsense. There were many others as well that I wasn't personally in contact with, so I couldn't gather enough information from them. But some people sent their channel names and a screenshot of their rejected appeals that I'm going to show you right now. Since AI excuses and rejection messages all look pretty identical, I won't go through each one of them separately. But you can pause the video and read it yourself. But I like to dedicate this part of the video to all of these people, as well as everyone else going through the similar situation. From the bottom of my heart, I truly hope their channels get restored and that something is done to help them against this unfair treatment. The people I'm going to mention: Akane Murakami. Their channel got terminated on February 25. Deadlock Sky. Their channel was banned even though they were making gacha content, and they even censored all of the sensitive scenes. Fluent. Their channel got terminated recently on June 15, and it was a 10-year-old channel and it got deleted because of a re-upload. They got warning and then banned. Kevin. His channel was banned on February 23. He had a normal channel, but if you check, you can see it was because of the old Yandere simulator videos that were there from before. Mekiosia. Their channel was terminated on November 21. Even though in their gameplay videos they had censored everything properly and followed all the rules, it still got taken down. Sparrow. Their channel was terminated on May 1st. And the thing is, they didn't even have any Yandere simulator videos. It was because of another game called Sarah's School Life. Yesheriti, if I pronounce it right. Their channel was banned on April 14. And even though they had not broken any of YouTube rules, they had never openly showed anyone get killed. Harula Official. Their channel got banned for making Yandere Simulator remake content and posts related to the game. And they even submitted a DSA request, but they still got no result. Tyron06. Their channel was terminated on May 13. Just like the previous one, it wasn't because of Yandere Simulator either. It was because another game called Schoolgirl Simulator. Lily Studio. They're an SGS YouTuber, and again, their channel got banned because of the game Schoolgirl Simulator. And this is really strange because a Schoolgirl Simulator has lower and simpler graphics compared to Yandere Simulator. And so far, 2 channels have been banned because of this. Also, it's been said that another creator named Yandere Mobile Player, who had way more subscribers, also got hit by the same YouTube AI. Matsuko YS. Their channel was terminated on October 21st. And this part of the video was actually re-recorded during the final stage of editing because I just received this name from Carrie's old channel. And please just pause for a moment and read the Reddit tag. It is really heartbreaking for everyone and you really don't know what to say. How is this possible for a channel to get banned for such a stupid thing? For games like this that have such unrealistic graphics and no one does anything for it. And finally, if there was anyone else whose channel name wasn't mentioned in the video and I didn't include here, I deeply apologize. I recorded this part right during the editing because I was waiting until the last moment to get a bigger list. And if someone's name isn't in the video, it's probably because they were added after my editing was done. And again, if I missed anyone and if I mispronounced someone's name, I apologize for that as well. And just like that, a lot of channels with years of memories and efforts behind it are gone. And that's unfair. A lot of people whose channel got banned didn't even have a platform big enough to make their voice heard, and may try to get their channels back by even reaching out to Yandere, but he couldn't do anything as well. And even so, none of us are safe around YouTube anymore. There's no guarantee that sooner or later they won't come for us too. And this situation has brought fear and stress into the community, which is completely understandable. The fact that Kubz literally deleted all the Yandere simulator videos from his playlist, or even Bijuu as well, worrying that YouTube might ban their channels because of Yandere simulator. I mean, like, those videos literally held everyone's childhood memories, and I honestly can't even put words into it. And about Jay, oh my god, he was genuinely one of the people who carried the game during the first release years. And even though he stopped making content and moved on around 3 years ago, a lot of us were introduced to him this way, and we made so many memories with his videos, and now all of it is just gone. And that's so sad. I'm genuinely upset about it, but at the same time, I'm grateful I had the chance to rewatch his videos one last time before they all get wiped. And I can't even blame him. Because when YouTube decides to not spare a creator like that, I mean, like, even someone with an audience that massive, I mean, like, I think Jay has over 6 million subscribers, or maybe even more. I don't know. I haven't checked this out yet. But YouTube didn't spare him. Didn't spare this one. Then what do you think will happen to smaller creators? And also remember this. This thing started with the smaller creators at first. And now it's coming for everyone. It might even come for very famous YouTubers who played the Yandere simulator back in 2014 or 2015. And they'll probably all delete their videos too because everyone feels unsafe around YouTube's new policy. It's like today me, tomorrow you, the day after someone else. You know, it's like waking up tomorrow to a brand new rule that says you're no longer allowed to upload Roblox videos on YouTube. And then suddenly everyone who has ever uploaded Roblox content gets their channel banned, even if the video was from 16 years ago. And that's how absurdly unexpected this feels. And now, with that being said, let's move on to the second part of the video where it says, what can we do to prevent this from getting worse? Now, before that I start, everything that has been said so far is just speculation, of course, because YouTube hasn't made any official statement about this or addressed what's the actual issue and probably explained what's wrong and why AI is actually flagging videos and channels under violent criminal organizations. However, based on some users' guesses and some things that I figured out myself, there are a few tips that following up might save your channel from the potential risk of getting banned. So being cautious is the smartest move. And know this is a matter of time. It's not like a bunch of channels disappear all at once, and we also don't know when this situation is going to end. Even though they haven't come for you yet, and I deeply hope that they never do, please don't neglect your channel and do these things. First of all, delete any video you feel has any level of violence. If you uploaded gameplay without using the game censorship settings or etc., or if you use violent content in the school environments that clearly showed a student being killed at school, be careful. Try to upload the gameplay in the safest possible form. And also, please remember this. All the Yandere simulator characters are minors, except for the teachers and faculty. Like that one thing someone wrote in the comments saying that, oh, what you're saying isn't canon, you're spreading misinformation. No, I'm not. Maybe that sentence from the game's title screen fools some people, but it can't fool AI. It's obvious that everyone in that school is a school kid. They're in a high school, not in a college. At most, the third years are 17 to 18 years old, not older. With that argument, you cannot convince YouTube that the people in the school who can't be killed are plus 18. And even if a human reviewed it instead of AI, they still wouldn't be convinced. And I'm not even discussing whether the game's content itself is problematic or not. The issue is the gameplay videos. So please avoid doing anything sexual or harmful with these characters, at least not while you're recording it. Keep your thumbnails and title tame. So about this, avoid thumbnails with too much red liquid, sharp objects held near someone's face, or someone lying in a corner on the ground not moving. You know what I'm saying. Some words I just cannot say out loud, especially now that YouTube has gotten stricter. But anyway, even the video itself is okay. The thumbnail or title might trigger attention. Also, in your tags and description, do not use the forbidden words. I mean, like something that seems like they're meant to harm or remove someone. I cannot show you the words exactly here. So after that I upload this video, I will post something about it on my Twitter. And I want you to read everything there. The link will be in the description and my channel's bio. And please take this seriously. It might not seem like a big deal, but it is, because AI doesn't watch the video, it reads the metadata, and that's the problem we are facing. Backup. Make backup. Always. Backup every video you have. If you don't have backups, archive everything on your channel. Because I don't have any hope that YouTube will be fixed anytime soon, and even if it does get fixed, the lost views and subscribers cannot be recovered. But at least you'll know that the effort you put into your videos wasn't completely lost, and you'll still have them with you for emergencies, and maybe you wanted to upload them somewhere else. And one important thing, one very, very, very important point that has ruined a lot of YouTubers: do not make any content involving this douchebag. Don't mention his name in a video. Don't mention the name of his organization at all. Don't show its gameplay in 1980s mode. Even though there's literally a game named after this organization, YouTube reacts extremely aggressive towards it. And even if you mention its name, YouTube will come down on you like a... It's extremely sensitive about this. So if you have content on your channel related to this person, get rid of it as fast as possible so you don't get banned as someone promoting an illegal organization. Because as I said before, this AI does not have the ability to analyze or understand what's real and what isn't, what's gameplay and what's encouragement of violence. It simply has a set of keywords and red lines defined for it, and it acts based on those. Even if we assume that, okay, maybe Yandere simulator has problematical content. If that was true, something would have happened during all these years that would have made creating content about it impossible by now. But I can assure you that there are a million of worst contents and more even violent games than Yandere simulator out there on YouTube that still haven't been hit by these flags. And our guesses is that maybe the reason why YouTube YouTube is so fixated on this game is because of everything that I told you to watch for. But if you followed all of this and still get banned, then all of us can come to the conclusion that YouTube doesn't really like Yandere Simulator anymore and genuinely intends to completely remove its content from the platform. Because like I said, everything happened so suddenly and so recently that nobody still has enough information about this situation. And finally, what's going to happen to Yandere Simulator YouTube in the future? I don't know. I genuinely mean it. I wish I knew. I wish there was more information about this, and I wish that someone would actually talk about it. But all the information out there comes from the YouTubers themselves, from the community members, and from the people who also became victims of AI. That's why everyone is making sudden decisions for their channel. However, the reality that the Yandere Simulator community will never be the same after these events is an unavoidable truth. All the old famous YouTubers are gone. And also, because of the events, a part of the game's history had been deleted. On top of that, in the present, the fear inside YouTubers is making it so hard that for a long time they may not be able to upload any gameplay or post anything about the game's updates. And even if you follow everything that I told you, creating a content can still be extremely exhausting for people. And maybe it won't even feel worth it anymore to stay active somewhere that they have to censor things, make cuts, do everything possible to avoid AI targeting them. And that leads to discouragement and pushes many people away. And even though I know many of you that are watching this video are part of the game's audience or fans or content creators yourself, you can't just abandon this content overnight and suddenly move to another fandom. For a YouTuber who builds their entire audience from one specific fandom, it's much harder to move to another fandom and start searching for subscribers again. If YouTube's current action really means that YouTube no longer wants Yandere Simulator on this platform and fully consider it one of the banned games, then unfortunately this affects all of us. Cause, a person's channel is their identity. It's part of their life. And I can't even describe how it feels watching your channel get destroyed over a video game. Not only that, but because of an AI that cannot even understand what he's looking at. It's violating that person's basic rights. It means erasing a part of that person's identity. And YouTube is responsible. I want YouTube to step in and actually deals with it. At the very least, people who got their channels banned need a convincing explanation to understand why their channels have been deleted, why they deserve to get banned. What did they do other than invest their time and their lives into YouTube? I want YouTube to, at least out of respect for these people, just once come forward and make things clear and determine what it really wants. That way, people in this community can finally decide whether being in this fandom is worth it or not. Well, I think I have taken enough of your time for today. Thank you for sticking with me this far into the video. If you have more information about these matters, I'd be happy if you share it and help people who are at risk. Or if you have any idea that might help these people win their appeal, please let everyone know. And if I haven't been terminated yet, I'd really appreciate it if you could support us by subscribing, because it means a lot. Until the next video, goodbye.